They're both going head to head right now. Okay, who's gonna win this one? Who's gonna win this one? Once upon a time, Bob and Mike were best friends. They used to enjoy their non-existent utopia, watching the screen shut down together. But then I came into the picture. I trapped both of them into a gladiator deathmatch to see which one is better. Anyways, today I created two AIs, Bobbert, also known as Bob, and Michael Fragmenta, the 32nd Emperor of Bolganvanos, also known as Mike. Bob and Mike have been brought into this world for one sole purpose: to be the best in the game of Snake. Well, you might be wondering, how did I do that? It's pretty simple. You basically have the brain of the AI, which is called the neural network. It's just like a human brain. Now, there are various methods to train this brain for specific tasks that you might want it to do. The one I used is called deep Q learning. Let me explain it to you in this way. When I tell the AI to do a backflip and it does a backflip, I will give it a reward, such as a cookie. When I tell the AI to do a backflip and it does push-ups instead, I'll give it a penalty, like sending 3 B-22 aircrafts to bomb. Anyways, for Bob and Mike, to make this as fair as possible, I made it such that both of their brains are the same size. I gave them the input of 6 pixels around their head, as well as the direction of the apple and danger, which are obstacles, walls, and their own body, of course. Bob and Mike receive a reward when they eat an apple, and they receive a very wholesome gift from 3 B-22 bombers when they hit walls or obstacles, or even themselves. After that, I left them to train for 750 games each. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a beautiful training montage. I hope you enjoy. Well, as you can see, both Bob and Mike are doing pretty well as of now. They've both grasped the game of Snake, the basics, pretty well, and are trying their best to maximize their rewards and avoid penalties. Unfortunately, after that, I had the pleasant idea of adding another layer of complexity into this simple game by adding a speed function. I thought that giving the AIs the ability to change their speed would add another layer of strategizing. But that didn't work out as I expected it to. As you can see in the following video, Bob was just enjoying a damn roundabout. Well, after scraping that idea, it was finally time for the 1v1 showdown. Before we delve into that, let me just tell you the rules of the showdown. Both Bob and Mike will be spawned into the same world. There will be 2 apples to eat from instead of 1. There will be no obstacles. If they hit into each other or the walls, they just respawn. And most importantly, to make this as fair as possible, for both Bob and Mike, I made it such that the apples will spawn in such a location that is equidistant from both Bob and Mike's current location in the map. This will reduce the chances of RNG being a win factor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final 1v1. As you can see, at the end, Mike came out to be the winner. By the way, I thought technically the actual way a winner of snake is determined is by how long their snake is. So I just set up another play where they were spawned into their own worlds just to see which one became the longest snake. Well, looks like Bob won it this time, so it's a tie technically. Well done, both Bob and Mike. I will let you live to see another day and maybe another shutting down screen. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you would like to see Bob and Mike do next. Once again, thanks a lot and see you in the next one.